Can you tell us a bit about the event we're organizing here in Costa Rica?
Well, basically, we're going to be around the south of the Pacific area of Costa Rica, where we're going to be running through most of the terrains that we have on our country, which is basically single trail, gravel roads, old indigenous trails, river crossings, sand running, mangrove crossing, delta crossing, reef running. So basically all type of terrains that you can find here from sea level to 3,000 feet high the most. So the views that you're gonna basically enjoy here are amazing because you're gonna be able to see the coast of the south part of Costa Rica, which is something special here. And it's the most remote area in our country. Is what most of the tourism they don't come here, so we want to take you to those places where nobody else is able to see, and it's actually the real Costa Rica, which is the rainforest. Most of the people go to the North Pacific, which is dry forest. Here we are on the South Pacific, which is the prestigious, it's the most beautiful forest that you can ever see. It's the most amount of wildlife you can find it here on the south. So basically, that's where you're gonna be enjoying through running, which is the only way that you can get through those places that we want to take you.
And Sergio, can you tell us about the kind of equipment that people might need or how they?
Well, definitely, it's easy if you see myself. I've I've been too much on the sun, so you don't want long sleeves are good. High socks are indispensable. It's really important to wear high socks. Always tie well your shoes. Put the things that you need to put in your shoes or on your between your legs, so you don't, because you're wet most of the time. It's almost 99% of humidity here, so you're gonna be sweating a lot. So that means that you have to be really careful with the things that the shape. I don't know how to say it, the name, but basically you want to take care of your feet, and the clothes that you're wearing has to be really light, and it has to be something that you're gonna be most of the time totally wet. So you have to run with that. So you have to think that it has to be something that it can dry easily, and that you want to protect from the sun because the sun in here is really strong. So between the sun and the humidity and the wet type of situations, that's what you have to want to take care of.
Yeah, and what about the distances we're going and the elevation gain and loss and the kind of
Yeah,
terrain?
it's going to be interesting. The way we're preparing it is progressive. So we're going to start with an 8.3 kilometer, like around 5 miles. We're going to start with that section for you to be introduced into this forest or rainforest. And from there on, we're going to be increasing the distances all the way to even 18 to 20 miles in one of the longest sections. So we're going to be doing the first, second, third, and fourth day are going to be increasing. Then the fifth and the sixth are going to be a little bit less, so you can recover, but at the same time, you're going to be in the most prestigious area. So the elevation gain at the end can be around 7,000 feet total. The day that you're going to have the most amount of elevation gain, it will be around 4,000 feet around there. So you're gonna be walking, running most of the hills. It's really technical. Some section muddy, some section runnable. So we're gonna be enjoying it. So we're gonna be stopping on the rivers, on the waterfalls. There's plenty of fresh water here. Even though we're gonna take, you need to bring all your protein bars and carbohydrates for the sections in between. There's plenty of water in the middle, but you always have to be thinking that in here the humidity is so high that you have to hydrate really well before you come here, during and after.
Yes. Well, yeah, because most of the clients that are coming this time, I mean, the runners who are coming, they're maybe used to the things that we're doing in the Costa Rica, which is drier and which is a little bit less distance. This is absolutely more challenging. So in terms of training, I always want to tell them that they really need to, train for this. What do you think about that?
Yes, well, the places that you're coming, there's plenty of mountains, so technically speaking, you should be able to handle it. The distance itself are distances that you can handle also. Um, for sure, more muddy, more wet. So, but the technical, I'm not afraid that you can handle it really well. It's mostly being aware of the environment. You know, when you're running on the jungle, it's like scuba diving. Like the first rule is that you don't touch anything because everything scratches and everything can injure you. So when you're scuba diving, you don't have to touch the ocean. It's the same when you're on this type of rainforest. You don't want to touch anything, and you always want to be aware of every step that you do because the terrain is so technical also that you have to be aware of that. And there's like snakes and animals, and so you always have to be aware of where you're putting your feet.
And then how are you gonna handle the group? I mean, the idea is to keep us more or less together, right? And
Exactly, because this is actually a trail running that is not a competition. We're gonna have plenty of time to go together. We're gonna have somebody in the front, somebody in the back, and we're gonna be running together. So that's part of the idea. We're not gonna compete. We're coming here to enjoy and to have the best time of your life.
thank you. Thank you.